I've got the touch. I've got the power. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're taking a look at a rather special Studio Series toy that was released just this year. We are taking a look at Hot Rod from the 1986 animated Transformers movie. Hot Rod here is part of a special set of the Studio Series being released this year to commemorate the 35th anniversary of Transformers the movie. Hot Rod, of course, here is a Voyager class toy, who will also be accompanied by Scourge. The deluxe class from the movie includes Jazz, Blur, and Cup. And so far, our only leader class toy from the animated movie is Grimlock. So, definitely got a lot going for us G1 fans of the classic hit movie. At any rate, let's take a look here at Hot Rod. As you can see, he does have a Matrix accessory, which goes well with his backdrop, which of course features him inside Unicron during his fateful battle against Galvatron. Would have been nice if we had gotten Galvatron in the Studio Series, but there is still hope Galvatron might turn up in the Kingdom series. So, if that happens, we'll break this guy out and we'll see how well they look next to each other. But at any rate, so I know some of you might be wondering what all. Well, there he goes. He just dropped part of his accessory. What all does he have to go with him as accessories? Well, to go along with what he just dropped there, we do have a little tiny Matrix. It's got the Matrix blue core here on the one side. On the opposite side, it's an open hole, because it allows for the plugging in of this burst of energy, so that you can reenact that he is opening the Matrix and slowly being reformatted into Rodimus Prime. Let's show off one other feature. Show off another thing for Hot Rod. We can reenact his bit at the opening of the movie when he was on Lookout Mountain. So all we have to do is we pop open his head, and then you can fold out his rangefinder, then close that over. And then Hot Rod can stare out into the sky and spot Decepticons. A nice, cute little feature. But we're not done yet there, folks. We still got a few more homages. Right down here for his hands, you can open up his hand, both of his arms at the wrist. Then you rotate them around, and you'll see that you have a post. Well, this post is to connect his buzzsaw. So you can connect the buzzsaw weapon on. Connect the buzzsaw weapon. And then there we are. Hot Rod is ready to fight the mechanical octopus that he and Cup encountered on Quintessa. Of course, here's a good look at it if you're buying this toy loose. It's all done as a solid circle, so it is not really all that sharp. That means it will not harm little children, but it also will not double as a pizza cutter. Just in case anybody's wondering. Hot Rod also does include with him 2 guns. Of course, the guns are not exactly the same, as you can see here on this side angle. Now, some of you might question that because Hot Rod did not use guns in the movie. He just fired guns from his exhaust pipes. Well, that is an homage to his Generation 1 figure, who, as you see, came with 2 guns. And the 2 guns are different. So it's a nice throwback to the Generation 1 toy. That, and I know a few of you would be asking me, how does he look compared to the G1? Well, see for yourself. He's about the same size, but a fair amount skinnier, and will have considerably more articulation, as we'll show in a moment. Lastly, Hot Rod comes with some energy sparks. Apparently so will Scourge, because they're giving them to the Voyager class in this line. And of course, the energy sparks can be connected to Hot Rod's guns, so that he can look like he's firing energy from his gun. But if you're a purist from the animated film, these can also be connected to the exhaust pipes. And then it looks like he's firing energy from the exhaust pipes. A nice little throwback feature for us Generation 1 fans. Alright, let's take a look at Hot Rod's articulation here, and he does have quite an improvement over his predecessor. His predecessor was primarily limited to the arms. So for this one, the studio one, we can turn his head from left to right. And it is on a ball joint, so it will look up and down. You can raise his arms up at the side, about so far. And the arms do rotate most of the way around, but if you get the fin out of the way, they will go all the way around. Hot Rod can bend his arm at the elbow, 90 degrees. And he does have a slight swivel at the bicep, so Hot Rod does have G.I. Joe battle grip. Hot Rod can be turned at the hips, like so. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. You can raise his leg up at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. So Hot Rod does have quite a range of motion on him, which, for him being a studio toy, that's what you want. Of course, before we get around to transforming Hot Rod, I want to show one last thing with him. It's the fact that Hot Rod does have a couple of slots here on his backside, which, if you would like, you can use to store his guns. You just press the wings on the guns in there, like so. And Hot Rod has gun storage. But also, to go with it, there's also a couple of holes on the ones on the sides here of the buzzsaw. And the buzzsaw can be connected to the other set of wings on the gun. And there you go, you've got storage. At least for those parts. Just something to keep in mind, my friends, especially depending on how you want to display this toy. Now let's get down to the fun part, the transforming, because Hot Rod's got quite a few steps involved in transforming him. To start things off, we turn him around to show his backside. And then we're going to fold down the fin. And this whole section rotates around, like so. And then we fold it down mainly to get it out of the way for the moment. Then next, we're going to take the driver's compartment here, and it pops free and falls back, bringing his arms with it. Then you're going to reach inside here, and you're going to fold it out, which brings out the front end of the car. So you're going to want it visibly seen, but it also folds out as well. So then you will raise it up, and then you're going to turn it around like that. And then we fold down the hood of the car onto the body pieces like that. And then we just fold it down here to get it out of our way, because we're going to turn his head around, and then the head folds inward inside the body. Then we bring everything back up and snap everything into place, including getting the hood lined up on the top of the car, just like that. And now we raise the fin section again, rotate his legs 180 degrees. And now we're going to turn him around. We spread his legs apart a little bit, because we are going to open the legs up. Open the legs up. Once you've got his legs opened up totally, you will then fold the feet inward, like so. Then you are going to fold the legs up at the knee, and then you will bring the leg covering around and snap the wheels into place. You have to do that for each one, but you have to do it one at a time, because there isn't enough room. Once you've got that all snapped in, then you just center them down here and hold them in place. So once you've got them in and got them fully straight, you'll bring the fin down all the way, and it should connect to the legs, because there's a little tab on the back of it, and that should just snap right in into the legs. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Takes a little effort, but it isn't all that difficult. Then, once you're done, come back here to the front, because we're going to fold the hood out again. And we also need to fold out this little bit of red plastic on his forearms. Excuse me, got to turn the instructions upside down. Once that's folded out, you'll rotate the exhaust pipes so that they're facing outwards like that. Then you will rotate the arms so that they can be snapped against the cockpit and connect the exhaust pipes all together. Doo-doo-dee-doo-doo-doom. Just exactly like that. Then once that's done, you're going to come back up front. There's some little red plastic. This part gets a little tricky. But you're going to fold these out. This may require a little bit of manipulation to get them out. But they come out and they clamp on to the gray spots at the top of his arms. Once you've got that, then you can fold the hood back up and completely snap it in place. And then to finish him off, He'll fold these red bits of plastic over to conceal his hands. Make sure everything is all snug and snapped together. And then there you have it, folks. Hot Rod in his classic Generation 1 car form. And of course, for those of you who are wondering, here's how he looks side by side with his G1 toy mode. It looks rather good next to it. But again, this one is more accurate to his movie appearance. The original one famously could have a gun mounted on the engine. And in this case, this one can one-up him because you can mount both guns. Sort of in a similar style to the Titan's Return Hot Rod. And yes, if you're wondering, you can also mount the buzzsaw on top of it for a rather unique looking weapon. Or if you'd prefer Hot Rod to be able to clearly see where he's going, they can be mounted on the same spot that we showed earlier. Something that truly outdoes the Generation 1 version. Now we get to my thoughts. What do I think of this version of Hot Rod? This version I really do like. Now, he is going to invariably draw comparisons to the Masterpiece one. And I know that for a fact, because my brother does have the Masterpiece one. And I have looked at it. I haven't reviewed it yet. Mainly because I only have one Masterpiece figure, and that's really not enough to draw excitement towards it yet. But, if you can't find the Masterpiece one, and you're not bothered by the fact that it won't have near as many of the accessories as that one does, because the Masterpiece does have the fishing pole, whereas this one does not, this one is a nice alternative. That is, of course, provided you can find it at your local retailer. I would suggest at the moment avoid paying eBay prices, because these guys aren't worth that kind of money just yet. But if you're looking for a great hot rod to display on your shelf, I'd say we've found it in this, the Studio Series version of Hot Rod. At any rate, that concludes my review of the Studio Series Hot Rod. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please drop me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and join our ranks. Make sure you ring the bell so you'll be notified when I post new content. I also ask that you share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. That's what helps this channel grow. And also share your thoughts about Hot Rod in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.